Hey guys, Brandon Beatty from Shielded Home Inspections. So today I wanted to show you guys an example of a house that I call a facelift, because the client and the realtor, they both thought that this house was totally renovated. And if you looked at the listing pictures, you would definitely think that, because really the listing pictures was like all about this kitchen, which has been staged. And when we actually did the inspection, they found out, like we very quickly realized that what you see is essentially all they did as far as the renovation goes. And we really just call this a facelift, okay? So we're gonna go through the house. I'm gonna show you guys some of the crazy stuff we found, and some of the stuff is not cheap to fix, okay? And you know, this was a family who was looking for a move-in ready house. And this house was really anything but that. And it's unfortunate, because that was a waste of everybody's time. So when these flippers and stuff, they're trying to sell these houses. So if we look here, you'll see like this kitchen is beautiful, right? Okay, so I'll give you some nice shots of the kitchen. See, they staged it nicely. Okay, but they forgot to put a stove there. Here's the living room. Okay, looks nice, right? But probably some of the serious issues, you know, we're gonna go out on the roof real quick. The roof was shot, guys, totally shot. So we got a flat roof over there, flat roof over here. So we'll climb out on the roof really, really quickly. Okay. So we are about 2 floors up on a flat roof. So that's the neighbor's roof. That's a great roof. So that's an example of a really, really nice roof. Okay, here's our roof. Now, I don't know if you're quite going to be able to see that. Let's try to zoom in a little bit. I don't think we can. So I'll put in the pictures from the camera pole when I actually put the camera pole up here. But if you can see that, the whole ridge of the roof, all those shingles, is actually like, I think those are the asbestos shingles, potentially. All that roof it's no good. This roof's in rough shape. So again, I'll put in the, so right there we got a missing shingle. Okay. So I will put in some footage of the overall camera pole that we put up there to really get better shots of the roof. But you can see, unfortunately, the way they installed this roof, it's no good. We have some lifting shingles over there. Look, these shingles are just all wavy. It's really no good. So listen, guys, it's really important, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, right? This is a family. Remember, keep in mind, this is a family who's looking for a move-in ready property. You're not expecting this type of stuff unless you come out here and take a look at the roof. You're not going to know that, hey, if your insurance company sees this, it's a potential, it's a very good possibility, they won't insure this house until you redo the roof. Now imagine a family moves into this house, their homeowner's insurance inspector comes by maybe 6 months later and tells them, hey, you got to redo this roof. And now you just bought a house and now you're looking at taking out a loan. And mind you, a roof like this could cost 15 grand, okay? $15,000 to replace this roof just to get it looking like this. That's my estimate, at least, you know. It's potential, if you know somebody, you could get it cheaper. Look at this stuff. So, I mean, this house is really not move-in ready. All right, so we'll go back inside. Whew. Yeah, so we just climbed in through that tiny little window. So that's why it's important to be nimble when you're doing these inspections. So again, they finished the attic. I think they did a fresh coat of paint up here. So not bad. Doesn't look like the roof is leaking, at least. So that's a good. a good thing. Different rooms. Again, this is the second floor apartment. It's all finished nicely. But let's go take a trip to the basement. All right, well, let's check out the other apartment, because this is a 2-family building. One more look at the nice apartment. Nice kitchen. Look at this. That window isn't quite closing all the way. So you give it enough time, you get it hard enough rain, you're probably gonna get water in there. It's gonna ruin all this nice new paint work they did. Okay, so this kitchen's not as nice. At least this one's got a stove, right? I don't think they staged this apartment. This looks like it had renters in it already and they just left or something. Nice new light fixture. But listen guys, it's not all about what you can see, especially in the listing photos. You know they're gonna try to, their goal is to sell a house, sell a dream. Well, keep dreaming, because that window's gotta be replaced. Look at this. Okay. Let me try to find the light switch for down here. So I guess that's all we have for light down here. So really with this property, we're getting a lot of moisture coming into the basement. Now over here, we've got a hole in the waste plumbing line, okay? The waste plumbing line was actually leaking pretty bad. Okay, when we were running some of the plumbing earlier, it was just dripping. So that's got to be replaced. And the guy who did the sewer scope, he actually ran it down there. He said he thinks, he recommends having this cleaned out. And the boilers were in decent shape. I think the hot water heater is aged. There was some concerns. But no, you know what? The hot water heater wasn't working when we did the test. Here's the light switch. There we go. It's creepy. Look, we're missing some covers over there. And we got some exposed wire in there. If you see that right there, we're not going to touch it. But the whole meter cover was missing right there. And just in general, this basement wasn't finished with a sump pump system. And so basically it's going to get wet. It's already started to get a little bit wet in the corners over there. So that's common. People like to finish the basements in this neighborhood without putting actual sump pumps in. And so all this drywall is basically going to get ruined. So, all right guys, so, oh wow, I just noticed that's fallen. That's only being held up by the pipe over there. Yeah guys, so as a first-time home buyer, you definitely want to come into the basement. You want to take a good look at the basement. You want to know what's going on down here. You want to know your electrical system, see if that's in decent shape. You want to know about the waste plumbing. A lot of people don't know about waste plumbing. Some of this stuff should be supported here. This is like an old toilet throne. They must have had a toilet there. Here's your boilers. So this stuff's okay. It's not the worst house in the world, but the thing is, I think the point is that these people were really under the impression that this house was like very recently renovated, and the fact is it just wasn't. This was not renovated. like they were sort of expecting. And it's a waste of everybody's time. I'll point the camera to me. It's sort of a waste of everybody's time if you are acting like you have this great product and we get there and it needs a whole new roof. You know, who are you trying to fool? That's how everybody feels now. And, you know, not to be like a deal killer type of inspector, because some people don't want to work with me because they think I'm going to kill a deal. It's not my fault, you know. I just tell the client how it is. I just say, hey guys, the house is solid. I mean, this is a solid house. This is a house I would be comfortable. If it was me, I would be comfortable putting a new roof on this house. But don't try to tell me the house is new. You know, don't try to tell the client the house is new and renovated when it's just, that's not the case. Again, that's not my fault. I'm just telling them the facts, you know. It's not me as an inspector that made the roof no good, right? The roof was already no good. Okay guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna lock up the property, get on with my day. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. We're gonna be posting a lot of educational content, trying to help people who are interested in buying homes, whether you're an investor, first-time home buyer, you wanna just know more about homes and like what goes into them, what goes into the maintenance, how to know if you're buying a good home or something that needs a lot of work. All right guys, thanks for checking it out. I'll see you guys on the next one.